Okay, folks, let's start today. We'll start in a child's pose. And I think this is a pretty experienced group, so I'm probably not going to do a lot of demonstrating. It sounds like you guys know each other. I may do a little bit of demonstrating. With that said, let's start in child's pose. Start from tabletop position. Widen your knees to the width of the mat. Draw your heels and toes together. Send your bottom back toward your heels. Extend your arm forward. Gently set the palms on the mat. And begin to draw your attention to the sensations that you experience as you're breathing. Notice the expansion of your abdomen and chest as you breathe in, and the contraction as you breathe out. If you can, try to let go of the things that you've done this morning. Maybe some of you were working, taking walks. Whatever you're doing, try to let that go. If you have plans for this afternoon, try not to think about them. Just focus on this moment. Focus on the sensations you feel as you breathe. Your inhale and exhale. Draw your attention and experience the weight of your own body. Experience the weight of your arms. Experience the weight of your elbows. Experience the weight of your knees and shins. Experience the weight of your feet as it's lying on the mat. This is a great place to practice your Ujjayi Pranayama breath. That's called the breath of victory. That's that audible breath that we take when we breathe in and out through our nose. It sounds a little bit like wind through the trees. Take a collective breath in. And as you exhale, let's rise up to all fours, tabletop. And we'll take a couple cat and cow poses here, Baddhalasana. Take a breath in, drop your belly low, send your butt up high, raise your head, gaze forward for cow. Exhale, arch your back like a mad cat, gaze back for cat. Inhale, drop your belly low, raise your head up for cow. Exhale, arch your back like a mad cat, gaze back for cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Cycle through 2 times at your own pace and to your own breath. We'll meet in tabletop. I've noticed some of you, as you're settling in and rolling your shoulders and taking a couple micro movements, I encourage you to do that. You might even want to check out the muscles in your face and see if you're holding any tension there. Wiggle your jaw around a bit, wiggle your nose. You can crunch your eyes and then relax them. We'll take our first downward dog of the day. So send your hands about 4 inches in front of you. Come to the balls of your feet. Send your hips high, creating an inverted V. This is your first downward dog of the day. Well, it may be, I think it's your first. But let's be gentle with ourselves. You can pedal out your legs. You can sway your hips side to side. You might want to hinge forward and hinge back. Just take the necessary adjustments that work for you. Set your gaze between your back feet. For your yoga drishti, that's that passive way that we look at the world in yoga, where you actually are looking at an object, yet you see all the surroundings. So on your next inhale, gradually step or hop to the top of your mat. Let your arms dangle down. We'll take a Ragdoll Pose, Uttanasana. Surrender your head. You can reach to opposite elbows or arms. Opposite elbows or biceps, I should say. This is a great place to actually experience the play of gravity in your body. Just notice how as you let go and you sink down, there'll become a point where resistance kicks in and you can't really go any further. So as you exhale, see if you can just sink a bit deeper. It sometimes helps to drop your arms. You can sway your arms back and forth. You have to take what works for you. Now dangle your arms down. We're going to rise to our first standing position, standing at attention samatithi. Inhale slowly, gradually rise up. Letting your arms rest at your side, letting them dangle. Slowly stack your vertebrae under one on top of each other until you come to a standing position. Gently raise your head up. Take a real soft yes and a real soft no with your head, nodding it just a bit. Maybe giving a couple micro moves to your shoulders, just settling in. Set your gaze forward at a fixed point and let's take 2 collective breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Next is our Sun Salutation A, Surya Namaskar A. Take a breath in, reach your arms over your head for Mountain Pose, palms facing each other. Draw your attention to your legs. Create a line from your heels all the way to the tips of your hands. Legs are strong. Ground is supported with your feet. Melt your shoulders down. Again, set your gaze forward. Take a couple breaths here. Collect the breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Surrender your head. Let's just pause here for a few breaths. Dangle your arms down. You might want to bring a micro bend to your knees. Some of you might want to explore by interlacing your fingers behind your back and lifting them toward the ceiling. It's up to you. You guys have probably done this a million times. Wherever you are, let your arms dangle. Let's rise up. The halfway lift where our back is parallel to the mat. Draw your hands and set them on your knees or your shins. Set your gaze forward to the top of the mat. Imagine that you're a swimmer in a starting block where the center of gravity is just a little bit forward. Set that gaze at the top of the mat. Collect the breath in. Exhale, plant your palms at the top of your mat. Step back to a high plank pose. Option here to set your knees on the mat if you wish. Otherwise, your back and butt and legs are off the mat. Lengthen the back side of your body from your crown all the way through your heels. Feel your own power moving from your palms all the way up through your shoulders. Next is Chaturanga Dandasana. Slide forward a bit, lower halfway down till you meet your elbows, and we're going to hold here for 3, 2, 1. Now gently come all the way down to the mat. You can set your left cheek on mat. Upward facing dog is next. Urdhva Mukha Shavasana. Take a breath in. As you breathe in, push up with your arms, raise your chest, raise your head, set your gaze forward. Feel the power again through your arms, pushing up through your palms. Press back with the tops of your feet. Your shins and your knees should be hovering above the mat. Also an option just to rest your knees on the mat. Take a breath in. Exhale and flow to your down dog. Settle in, and we'll take 2 collective breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, set your gaze forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to mountain pose, Tadasana. Bring your palms together and travel the center line down to heart center. Great start, yogis. We're going to take Sun Salutation B, Surya Namaskar B, moving 1 pose for breath. We'll cycle through 2 times. Take a breath in, reach the mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, plant your palms, step back to high plank pose. Breathe in. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 collective breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Gaze forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to mountain pose. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to high plank pose, breath in. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 collective breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to mountain pose. Exhale, bring your palms together and travel the midline down to heart center. Perfect. Good work, folks. Next is Sun Salutation B, Surya Namaskar B. Take a breath in, reach high to mountain pose. Exhale, sink to chair pose. Draw your feet together, squat back as if you're sitting into a chair. Your weight should be on your heels. Take a peek at your toes. You should be able to see them. Head is resting between your arms and your gaze is forward, but just down a bit. Draw your attention to your breath as you're establishing this pose. Take a collective breath in, but stay right here. Exhale, now forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to high plank pose. Always an option to go directly to down dog. If you want, take your flow. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, send your right leg high, your right foot, and let's hold it there for a second or two. Try to take your right foot and pass the midline to the left. We're going to do a little hip opener here. That right ankle or the right foot is actually kind of trying to head toward your left arm. It's not going to get there. If any of you get there, then I'm going to have you lead the class. So draw your leg back up into that 3-legged dog. Take a breath in. Exhale, step through. Plant the hands between your arms and rise to your first Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana. Stack your right knee over your right ankle. Rise up, arms are at shoulder height, extended. Set your gaze to the middle finger of your right hand. Your back foot should be flat. Draw your attention to your breath. Take any kind of micro movements that you want in this pose. Next is extended side angle, Utthita Parshvanasana. Gently set your right forearm on your right thigh. Raise your left arm over your head, palm facing down. Create length with the left side of your body. Set your gaze at that left hand. Feel the length from the tips of your left fingers all the way down to your foot. Try to create that vertical line in your body. Setting up for reverse warrior, Viparita Virabhadrasana. Maintain your current leg position. Reach with your right arm over your head, palm facing down. Gently set your left palm on your left thigh, the back side of your thigh. Or if you wish, you can set your forearm in the small of your back for a half bind. With the right side of your body, reach high and back. We'll take a couple breaths here. Collect a breath in. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the top of the mat. Step back to the high plank pose. You can go to your flow or you can go directly to down dog. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, extend your left foot high. This time, take your left foot and cross the midline over to the right for a little hip opener. Gently draw your leg back to a three-legged dog. Breathe in. This time, step forward with your left foot. Place your left foot between your palms. Rise up to Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana. This time on the left side. Again, stack your knee of your left foot. Arms parallel. Your heels are in one line and the back foot is spun flat. Set your gaze, the middle finger of your left hand. Draw your attention to your back foot. Just notice if your back foot is completely flat. You should feel all parts of your foot resting on your mat, particularly the back side of your foot or the part of the foot that's furthest away from your body. You can have some fun with this pose if you wish. You can sink down for a little bit more of your edge. You also can rise up for a more restorative approach. Actually, you can go back and forth. You can breathe up and rise, and exhale, sink down. You can follow if you'd like. Breathe up and rise, exhale and sink down. Extended side angle is next. This time, take your left forearm and set it on your left thigh. Reach your right hand over your head, palm facing down. Set your gaze to the tips of your right hand. Extend your body, creating length. Your back foot remains flat. You can set your gaze high at that hand. Next is reverse warrior. Take your left hand, extend it over your head, palm facing down. Gently set your right hand to the back side of your right thigh, or you could place it in the middle of the back for a half bind. Take a couple breaths here. Reach high with the top hand and reach a little bit back to deepen that stretch. Take a collective breath in. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, plant your palms on the mat, step back to high plank. Inhale. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take 3 collective breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. This time, inhale through your nose. Inhale. Exhale through your mouth. One more. Inhale. Set your gaze forward. Step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to mountain pose. Exhale, draw your palms together, travel the midline down to heart center. Nice work, folks. We're going to take Sun Salutation B, moving one breath per pose. Depending on time, we're going to cycle through twice here. Take a breath in, reach high to mountain pose. Exhale, sink to chair pose. Actually, I'm going to have you do something fun here. At least I think it's fun. So stay in this pose. Imagine you're Tom Sawyer. Focus on your hands and palms. Rotate your palms so your palms are facing the ground. As you take a breath in, sweep your arms back. You're whitewashing a fence. As you inhale, unwhitewash the fence. Bring your hands forward, wave them high. Exhale, whitewash. Inhale, unwhitewash. Two more. Exhale, whitewash. Inhale, unwhitewash. One more time. Exhale, whitewash, and we'll hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, whitewash, or unwhitewash, I should say. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your back. Hands step back to high plank pose. Breathe in. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, rise to warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the mat. Step back to high plank pose. Take your down dog or go through your flow. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, send your left foot high. Exhale, plant your left foot between your palms. Rise to warrior two. Exhale, take extended side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands, plant your palms, step back to high plank pose, directly to down dog or take your flow. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take 2 collective breaths here. Inhale through your nose. Sigh it out. 1 inhale through your nose, gaze forward. Sigh it out, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to mountain pose. Exhale, sink to chair pose. Inhale, stay. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to high plank. Inhale. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, send your right foot high. Exhale, plant your right foot between your palms. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, plant your palms, step back to high plank pose, go directly to down dog or take your flow. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, send your left foot high. Exhale, plant your left foot between your palms, rise to warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, plant your palms, step back to high plank pose, go through your flow. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take 2 collective breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to mountain pose. Exhale, travel the midline down to heart center. Nice work, everybody. I welcome you to jiggle your arms, kick your legs a little bit, do some micro bend of your shoulders. We're going to set up for one balance pose today, folks. Let's bring our hands to heart center. How about a tree pose? Vrikshasana. So draw your hands to heart center. Bring your weight over the right side of your body. Lift your left foot up and set the bottom of your left foot on your right thigh or your right thigh. Avoid your knee. If you're feeling balanced, raise your arms over your head for your branches. Widen your fingers for your twigs. Set your gaze forward. If any of you want yogi extra credit, you can close your eyes. Every time I close my eyes, I fall on my arse. But you guys probably are better than me. Great job, folks. Let go, jiggle your arms out, move yourself around a little bit. After you're kind of settled in, draw your hands to heart center. This time, transfer your weight to your left side. Raise your right foot. Place your bottom of your right foot on your left calf or your left thigh. Avoid the knees again, please. Find your balance here. When you find your balance, I welcome you to raise your hands over your head, spreading your arms, spreading your fingers for your twigs. Set your gaze forward. Don't worry if you fall out of the pose. Let your arms go. Come back to standing position. Take some micro movements. Draw your breath in. Reach high to mountain pose. Forward fold. Take a breath in. Plant your palms and step back, but this time step back into a tabletop position. We're going to set up to do a little bit of core work and back work here. So in tabletop position, what I'd like you to do is push all the way down so you're lying on the mat. So your abdomen is on the mat. You can set your hands at your side, palm facing down. We're going to place our chin on the mat. We're going to set up for a couple of locust poses. Take a breath in and raise your head up. And draw your shoulders up, set your gaze forward. Option to float your hands. Also the option to float your legs, and you'll feel yourself kind of pivoting back and forth on your abdomen. We're going to hold this pose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Set your head on the mat, this time with your right cheek. Just take some real slow micro movements in your body, just paying attention to some of the muscles that we've stretched out. We'll take another locust pose, setting up. Here we go. Bring your chin to the mat. Take a breath in, raise your head. Raise your shoulders. This time, draw your shoulders up and in just a bit. Option to float your arms and hands, option to float your legs. Feel how you're rocking on your abdomen. And we'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Settle down. This time you can place your left cheek on the mat. Gently push yourself up to tabletop position. And then scrunch your bottom down and send your feet forward. We'll take a nice stretch in a seating position this time. Take a breath in and raise your arms over your head, palms facing each other, kind of like you're doing a sitting mountain pose. Set your gaze forward and lengthen your spine. And at the same time, tuck your abdomen under your lower ribs for your Uddiyana Bandha. Feel how your bottom, your sit bones, are supporting the rest of your body. Take a collective breath in, leading with your chin and chest, lean forward. You can stretch your arms. Another option is grab your ankles or the bottoms of your feet and pull yourself forward. You can surrender your head. Feel the stretch in your back, always leading with your chin. Wherever you are, rise up to sitting position. This time, let's take our hands and extend them in front of you with your palms facing each other, again, supporting your back. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, lower yourself down to the mat, setting one vertebra on the mat at a time. Until you're finally sitting down on your mat, you can extend your legs forward. We'll set up for a couple of bridge poses here. Draw your heels toward your butt. So stack your heels underneath your knees. Rest your hands the side of your body. Draw your feet together and push with the bottoms of your feet. Raise your hips up for a bridge pose. Imagine that there's a string connected to your waist and the string is pulling up a little higher. If you want to do the imagination thing, imagine that you have an orange between your knees and you're making orange juice. So let's make orange juice and let's have a string pulling our hips. Option to interlace your fingers underneath your back. If you do that, notice what happens to your shoulders. Take a collective breath in. Exhale, slowly lower yourself down, setting one vertebra on the mat at one time. You can windshield wiper your knees to give some attention to that back. Let's set up for one more bridge pose. Breathe in, send your hips high. Imagine that a string is pulling your hips up. If you want, you can make orange juice. Option to interlace your fingers behind your back. This time, as you are resting in your bridge pose, set your gaze to a fixed point somewhere above you. And also draw all your attention to your breath. Feel the breath moving in and out of your lungs. Take a collective breath in. Exhale, gently and slowly lower yourself down, stacking one vertebra at a time. You can windshield wiper your legs. Now extend your legs and lay flat on the mat. We're going to set up for a couple supine twists here. So keep your left leg straight, but bring your right heel toward your bottom. Reach over with your left hand and gently place it on top of your right knee and twist to the left. Your right foot can be on top of your thigh or next to it. Set your right arm long and set your gaze at that hand. Feel the stretch in your body. Your left hand really isn't pulling anything, it's just acting as a guide for that knee. Notice the places in your body that are being stretched. Gently bring your legs or your feet back up to the center position. You can extend your right leg, maybe jiggle your legs up and down a little bit, giving them some attention. This time we'll bring our left heel toward our bottom. Reach with your right hand, set it on top of your left knee, and this time spin to the right. Extend your left hand and set that gaze on that left hand. Take an inventory of your body. Does this side feel different than the other side? If I was a betting man, I would say it probably does. Your body's not symmetrical at all. Gently come back to centered position. Extend your legs out. Give them a little jiggle. This time, draw your feet toward the bottom, your bottom, and let your knees splay out wide and bring the bottoms of your feet together for Supta Baddha Konasana. Gently set one hand on your abdomen and one hand on your chest. And draw your attention back to the sensations that you feel as you breathe. The expansion as you breathe in, the contraction as you breathe out. Expansion, breathe in. Contraction as you breathe out. Draw your knees to center, draw them out. Raise your feet off the ground. Reach up with your hands. We're setting up for happy baby pose. You can reach toward your ankles or the bottoms of your feet, or you can hook your big toe with your two index fingers. Take this pose in a way that works for you. You can spread your legs out a little bit if that makes sense. You can rock. You have to get in the mindset of an infant here and figure out what an infant would enjoy. Okay, you can release your legs, set them on the mat, and gently stretch them out in front of you. Let your feet splay open. Let them be relaxed as you can. Set your arms at your side with your palms facing up. We're setting up for Shavasana, our final resting pose. Once again, draw your attention to the sensations that you experience as you breathe. The expansion of your chest when you breathe in, the contraction when you breathe out. We'll take a quick full body scan. Relax your feet. Feel your own heaviness against the mat. Relax your shins and your thighs, quads. Relax your knees. Let your hips become heavy. Relax your shoulders. Relax your neck. Relax the upper parts of your arms. Relax your elbows. Relax your forearms and your wrists. Relax your face. Relax your nose, your mouth, your eyes. Relax your mind. I'll meet you back here in about 3 or 4 minutes. Draw your attention back to this moment, the sensations of your body as you're resting on the mat. Bring a couple gentle movements to your fingers and your toes. You can bring a gentle rolling motion to your wrists and your ankles if you wish. Just begin to move your shoulders around, bringing your focus back to this moment. I invite you to reach your arms over your head and do a full body stretch. Gently roll to the right side. You can draw your knees in kind of a fetal position. Set your right head on your right arm. Gently notice your breath. Notice how calm, gentle it is. Taking your time, maneuver yourself into a cross-legged seated position, Sukhasana. Set your hands on your knees. Close your eyes. And as you breathe a couple breaths in and out here, think of the concept in yoga. It's called ahisma. Basically, it means peacefulness or non-hurting or non-violent. So as you're breathing in and out, imagine there's peace just floating all around you. It's in the atmosphere, it's in the air, it's everywhere. So breathe in and pull that sense of peace into your body. And as you exhale, firstly, send it out. Send it out to your yogis. Send it out to the universe. Just take a couple breaths here. Take a collective breath in. Reach your arms over your head. Bring your palms together. Exhale, travel down midline. Set your fingers on your forehead or your third eye. The light and the peace in my heart sees and recognizes the light and peace in your heart. Take a breath in. Bow forward. Namaste. Thank you for allowing me to practice yoga with you